I need you to be brave. A man will come and take you away.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is more Hitman Absolution, and this is a max score video for a personal contract. So I uploaded a video called Decontamination the other day, which is a really quick run through of me getting the max score on that level. And I was super stoked to get #1 in the world because I thought I had probably the fastest method of doing it, but it's probably the method everybody uses because it's extremely easy. And unfortunately I was #2, which always sucks. And I uploaded that video and asked people, did they want me to commentate these videos or did they like them in the format that they were in? Because I quite liked them when they didn't have anything on them but the gameplay. And there was a massive response that I was wrong. And people wanted commentary, so here it is, guys. I'm going to commentate these videos from now on, and what I speak about in them is probably going to be random. I'm not generally going to talk too much strategy unless I need to specifically mention something that's difficult. The cool thing about Hitman is the videos really do speak for themselves. And you've already seen me do this exact same path previously. But I'm going to talk about the scoring system and why I don't like it. Because I've made little suggestions towards problems in it and suggestions towards things on Twitter that I would change and hopefully IO will patch. And how it works for the people that don't know is when you play the level, every single thing you do is rewarded with score. When you get to the end, you will get a set amount of points. A perfect run for points is not getting spotted, not killing anybody but the target, and picking up the evidence. That will get you the maximum amount of score available in the level. The only problem is, if you do not have the challenges completed, you will not get the multiplier that enables you to get that max amount of score. There's also a difficulty multiplier, which I didn't mention. So, before you can even compete, you need to do all the challenges, and if anybody's tried doing these challenges, some of them are annoying as shit. Some of them are really frustrating, and it can take you a long time to max a level before you can even try and figure out a good path to getting a max score. So, there's this huge barrier to doing these high score runs because you have to first play the level to death before you can even compete in it. The next barrier is being able to do all of those things I've mentioned, you know, not get seen, kill only the target, pick up the evidence, on Purity difficulty. Oh, sorry, Purist difficulty. Purity is probably the fucking Twilight difficulty. And, or the Jonas Brothers game. Purity difficulty, try not to lose your vagina. But doing it all on Purist can be very difficult because the game is challenging, but once you know what you're doing, it's not so bad. And then once you put all those things together, you will have yourself the maximum available score. And getting the maximum score usually involves you killing with the fiber wire and hiding the body, because it seems to give you the most points. And once you've capped the score, that's it. You've done it. There's nothing more anyone can do. And your name will be up there in the top end. And what happens is, if you're #1, if somebody else does it and maxes the score and they are alphabetically lower than you, they'll go above you. And it's not first come, first served. It's literally who has the fucking name A. So competition is completely pointless because when people upload these videos, everybody knows how to get the max score and everybody's on the same playing field. And what it desperately needs to make it, make it interesting and make it more fun and make me keep coming back and trying to get faster runs is the time multiplier that Contracts has. And for anybody that hasn't played Contracts, it's a very simple premise. When you start the assassination, I think you get a minute before the clock starts. As soon as the clock starts, your bonus multiplier is decreasing every second you take to do the mark. And I think if they had that in the campaign, it would fix the leaderboards immediately because everybody's going to have a certain level of speed of doing the level. There's always going to be that person that's faster than you unless you are that person. And that way, there'll be a competitive edge on the leaderboards because there'll be people constantly trying to, you know, it'll be just like a racing game where you keep playing that lap to get a couple of milliseconds shaved off the time. And it turns it into a much more competitive environment. And I would love to see that mainly because I want to get a couple number 1 spots and hold them, hopefully. But at this moment in time, it's impossible to do that. And I think this game deserves a lot more than what IO have given it at this moment in time, and that's not to say that they've done a bad job, because I do think this is a fantastic game. And I do think a lot of people have levelled really unfair judgments against this, calling it not a Hitman, calling it not as good as Blood Money, you know, all those kind of things. And the Hitman Purist, to use a parlance of this game, in me wants to say yes, this is different, this is that, this is this, but at the same time, it's been like 7 years since the last Hitman, and every game that comes out is subtly different and, you know, sculpted by the other games in the genre or the other games that are around at that time. And in 7 years, games really changed. Like, 7 years is probably the difference between like fucking Pong and something not Pong, because I'm not too sure of the original Pong dates and the Atari dates and all that good stuff. But 7 years is massive in technology, and if they were to bring out, you know, Hitman 2.5, as good as it would have been and as much as I would love it, I think people would have wanted more. And I do think it's better to take a risk to do something different than it is to just regurgitate a previous installment. And I know a lot of people probably disagree with that, but that's just my personal view on it. Because at the end of the day, this is somebody's creative vision, this is somebody's hard work, this is a full team of folk that all want to push the boundaries and make the best Hitman game they can make. And they have to take risks, they have to take it into new territories, and a lot of the times they don't know that these new territories aren't necessarily working because they're so close to the project. And that's the reason why you get testers, that's the reason why things get screened, because you can't see the forest for the trees because you're too close to the project, it's too personal. It's the same reason why police officers can't work on family cases, which is probably complete bullshit and a misnomer, or you know, just some nonsense fact that was created by, is it Rob Wolf, that makes all those stupid fucking cop shows. But I think a lot of people judge this game unfairly. They judge it on the values of some of the broken parts and not necessarily on the values of some of the fantastic parts. Like The King of Chinatown, sure, the level gets recycled again, so that it's 2 of the same level, but how good is that level? How good is the crowd? It's got such a great atmosphere in it. There's so much good, there really is, and I'm hoping that the DLC introduces new levels that are more Hitman orientated. If they start bringing out Hitman missions as DLC, I will love this game forever. Like, I would probably buy gladly previous Hitman game missions in this game, you know, in the engine and everything. I would gladly buy that and I would be happy, because one thing I do love the most about Absolution is how fucking beautiful it is, and it is so good. It's such a good looking game, and when you go back to the old ones don't look bad, but there's definitely a jump in quality because there's a leap in technology. And I've been playing a lot of this game. I've been playing so much of this game that I haven't played Dark Souls in a long time. This is the longest I've gone without playing Dark Souls, which, if I was a recovering alcoholic, everybody would be clapping right now, but there's a part of me that's kind of sad because I do like playing Dark Souls, and I will get back to it. And speaking of Dark Souls, I found some of the live playthrough that I didn't upload for some reason. Completely lost the live commentary, so I'll be doing that after I do this one. But it's the Ornstein and Smo fight, and it's also a stead in the forest I did, which was my first real session of invasions, and I get stomped, so look forward to that. But this sequence coming up is something that was seen in one of the intros that I put up. A little fun fact for the people that really like to be, well, I was with Seraphim 17 before he was even called Seraphim 17, yum 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 yum. If you want to be that type of person, the I Love Boobies edit was the quickest edit to do. All I did is I got I got the E3 trailer, which is the one that plays behind the menus on the menu screen of this game, which is a fantastic trailer with Dana in the shower and Hitman killing dudes. And the way that it's edited is extremely quickly put together. It's very, very fast. It flows very well. It's very matchy. As she's in the shower, there's a guy being drowned and all that kind of good stuff. And what I did is I trimmed everything out and I put the female sections all together. Then I added the composited bit that I've got on the end where Hitman's walking towards the camera, because that is a bunch of colour correction that I've keyframed to make it bleed to grey. And then there's the typeset, and there's the optical flare that I've created and I've animated, and it's a couple seconds worth of footage, but that took hours, people, that end part. But yeah, little tid fact, that is a personal contract, that is the maximum score. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.